hands, let the joy begin. Stories to share and truth to find, hope and grace forever in mind. Your voice, we're glad you're here. Love and laughter fill the air. It's the Saturday morning scoop right here with LadyRo. Faith, news, and conversation, together we will grow. Grab your coffee, take your seat. There's so much to discover. Welcome to the Queendom, where we lift up one another.
Good morning. Happy Saturday. Today is Saturday, July the 11th, 2026. Oh my goodness, this year is getting on up out of here. Yes, indeed it is. Give me 1 second. Let me switch microphones. Make sure that we are. Let's see. Can y'all hear me? There we go. I see it moving. Good morning. Y'all, we got a heavy morning when it comes down to the Saturday morning scoop. So I'm going to give us a little start off with something a little bit lighter. And follow me. We're going to go on over here and listen to the Miss Crystal Rucker as she sings.
Yes, I have that blessed assurance. He will take your glory and sorrows. He will never forsake you. I can call whenever. Father, up in heaven, I can go to God in prayer. Oh, makes no difference what the problem. Yes, I have this blessed assurance. He will take my gloom and sorrows. Yeah. He will never forsake me. I can call him when I need him. God, up in heaven.
That was the Crystal Rucker of the Church of God in Christ. And when I tell you that sister can blow, I want to hear that one more time before we get into the heavy duty mess. Because baby, today's live is going to be a little heavy, but I want to hear that one more again. Can we go back over here to Crystal? Crystal Rucker just happens to be my pastor and his wife's good friend. She visits our church a lot, and I absolutely love Crystal. Let's go. Let's listen to her one more time before we get into Saturday morning school. Uh-oh. Let me share that. Oh, what was I doing? Thought I was sharing. Let's go.
Yes, I have that blessed assurance. He will take your glory and sorrows. He will never forsake you. I Yes, I have this blessed assurance. He will take my gloom, sorrow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He will never forsake me. I can call him when I need him. Up in heaven.
Just a quick reminder that you can call him whenever you need him. Our Father up in heaven. I can, you can, we can go to God in prayer. Remember that each and every single day. There is never anything that is so heavy that you feel like you have to carry it all by yourself. Go take it to God in prayer. He said that we could cast all of our cares upon him because he cares for us. And I think we need it in today's day, in today's world. Let me get on in here. Good morning, butterfly. Good morning, butterfly. Good morning, black butterfly. Happy Saturday. Please come in, hit the like and share button. We're gonna get into, hey, good morning, Sergeant Charge. Everybody speaking. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can go all in unity. Good morning. I can go to God in prayer. When I tell you I needed that this morning. I needed that this morning. Good morning, living for me. Hey, butterfly.
Hey, good morning, Queendom. Good morning, Queendom. Good morning, beautiful LadyRo. How you doing this morning, baby?
I'm good. I'm good. I was
You feeling how I was feeling last night, huh?
Just a little bit
heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little overstimulating, a little heavy.
Yeah. I went through today's Saturday morning school is gonna be a little bit different than normally. Normally I go through
There's a little different hot topics.
Yeah. Today's topic, normally I go through hot topics, but today we're gonna go through some stuff that's heavy in America right now. Okay. All you just absolutely, LadyRo, so true in Jesus' name. I'm telling you, you have to have a hope in Christ Jesus. Beautiful Traveler said, my prayer time is midnight. Amen. Late in the midnight hour, God always steps in. Let me do a quick disclaimer. LadyRo's Queendom disclaimer. All things are alleged, or in my opinion, and they are for entertainment purposes only, as we all add into this conversation. Remember, please show some love and support, comment, because we love a healthy dialogue here. Share with share with your other social media if you don't mind. Send it to your Twitter or to your Facebook or your YouTube. I really appreciate it. Subscribe. Subscriptions help the channel grow, and we are on the move. We are growing. Tap that notification bell to know when I go live. We nurture, we cultivate, and we awaken. We are the Queendom. Remember that. Remember that. Fair use disclaimer. Some material used in this video is used under U.S. copyright fair use Section 107 for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. Ooh, when I tell you this morning going through the topics was just kind of heavy, had my little heart just kind of weighed down. But the first thing we're going to talk about, again, like I said, this is going to be a little different than I normally do. But the first thing I want to talk about is going to be, let's do this one. This is a little light. Well, I'm not going to do that one. I'll say that one. I want y'all to see this really fast. Let's go. Cut this up.
Stay. I ain't doing.
I'm starting all over. It's a 30-second video, and here we go.
Stay. I ain't doing shit, but I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you saying? Oh, yeah, fuck. I'm not. Oh, my God.
Fuck up.
Okay. Down. Oh, my fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
You want it again?
No, man.
Shut the fuck up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
Woo. That was hard to watch. I don't know about y'all, but that was hard for me to watch. But let's talk about it. A federal civil rights lawsuit seeking $20 million has been officially filed following a viral police encounter that showed an Alabama police officer repeatedly deploying a taser on a handcuffed and compliant black man. The legal action centers on an incident involving Micah Washington, who was pulled over on the side of the road, changing a flat tire near his family's home. According to court documents and widely circulated eyewitness video footage, Reform Police Officer Dana Elmore approached Washington and demanded his identification. When Washington questioned the basis of the request, the interaction rapidly escalated. Elmore placed Washington in handcuffs and subsequently shocked him in the back with the taser while he was leaning over the hood of a patrol unit. The viral video captured the officer telling the screaming victim to shut your bitch ass up and asking, "Do you want it again?" The lawsuit further alleges that the responding officer called her husband, Pickens County Sheriff Deputy Jody Elmore, to the scene for backup rather than utilizing standard dispatch protocol. Following the physical altercation, the officers arrested Washington alongside his friend and his 16-year-old brother at the local jail. Police cooked up a slate of severe federal charges against Washington, including resisting arrest, obstructing government operations, possessions of a firearm by a convicted felon. We do see the firearm on the hood of the vehicle, and trafficking fentanyl resulted in a bond set over $500,000. The entire criminal case against Washington completely collapsed after his legal representation proved the severe charges were completely fabricated. Official records confirmed that Washington had no prior felony convictions on his record, making the firearm charge invalid. Furthermore, subsequent state laboratory testing proved that the substance field tested by the officers as fentanyl was not an illegal drug. All criminal charges filed against Washington and his companions were officially dismissed by prosecutors. The $20 million federal lawsuit names the city of Reform, officers Dana Elmore and former deputy Jody Elmore as co-defendant, citing malicious prosecution, wrongful detainment, and excessive use of force. Following the national outrage sparked by the video release, Dana Elmore was placed on administrative leave, while Jody Elmore separated from the Pickens County Sheriff's Office. Washington's attorney emphasized that without the immediate presence of bystanders, smartphone recordings, the fabricated drug and weapons charges likely would have resulted in decades of false imprisonment. Child. Butterfly, what you think about that?
Disgraceful. And you seen the joy in her face doing that.
Definitely.
Disgraceful. And then to try to chunk up a whole bunch of nonsensical charges that you was not going to have no evidence for. But see, here's the problem. They are used to getting away with doing things like that.
Correct. They are.
That's why she had the audacity to do that. She seen all them people watching. She know what age and day and time we in. Everybody's video recording. But she thought her proximity and who she is and her privilege was going to get her off on this nonsense. I hope he gets every single penny that he's asking for. And see, here's the problem I have with these states and not holding their police officers accountable. The taxpayers are the ones that end up paying these enormous settlements. It comes out of their pocket. While you're talking about you ain't got no money to fund the police, you ain't got no money to fund the police because you keep trying to fund these crooked SOBs.
Correct. I totally agree. And Live For Me says, crazy as it sounds, this happens every day. I hope he wins his lawsuit and they both need to be fired. The husband he left because he knew what was coming down the ranks for him. But I wonder how many more Black people have been railroaded by this same couple. How many more? This is just the ones who were caught. And you see that the attorney, he actually praised the very fact that there were bystanders with cell phones This is where independent media comes into play, because they blew this up so much that it caused it to get a lot of attention, a bunch of eyes on it, them get the right attorney in place, and they found out, hey, all of this is false. All of this is false. That was a hateful act she committed. That what she did was done in hate. It was all in unity. Every bit of it was done in hate. Like I told you, today's video is going to be a little heavy. I'm telling you, it's going to be a little heavy. A little heavy. So that's why I gave us the praise song before we got started, because we're going to need it for today. Next on the docket. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can pull this one up. Give me a second. I want y'all to see this. This is local to me, rather. We're going to talk about it. We talk about a lot of stuff over here. Missing persons alert, community alert. The Rowlett Police Department is asking for, they want to help in finding this young man. The young man's name, I believe, is Daniel. They call him Mike. Daniel Ewing. Updated, the individual recovered from Lake Ray Hubbard has been positively identified as the missing person. Let me go ahead and tell y'all exactly what this story is. Right in our backyard, another young man left home with 2 boys and didn't return home. 2 YT boys. Today, I'm speaking out for the brother, Daniel Mike Ewing. Daniel was picked up from my mother's home in the 14,000 block of Woodland Trails in Rowlett, Texas, on April the 13th, 2023, by 2 white boys named Lucas and Riley, for what was supposed to be a fishing trip. He never came home. The 2 boys returned home, but Daniel did not. Instead of immediately notifying our family that Daniel was missing, coming back to the house where they picked him up, or contacting law enforcement, they went to school that very next day while my brother was still missing. Our family was left searching for answers. Oh, Lordy. Not even knowing where Daniel was. As the days passed, Daniel's missing person photos began spreading across social media. Our community shared his face everywhere, hoping someone had seen him. It wasn't until his disappearance gained widespread attention online, here we go again with that independent media stepping into play, that information began to surface. 4 days later, Daniel was found unalive in the lake, and his body was unidentifiable. Our family has been left with questions that have never been answered. If nothing criminal happened, why wasn't Daniel reported missing immediately? Why didn't anyone return to the home where they picked him up or tell our mother something had happened? Why wasn't law enforcement contacted right away? Why did everyone carry on with their lives while our family desperately searched for my brother? Watching the recent tragedy in Mississippi involving another young Black man whose body was found in a lake has reopened wounds that have never healed. Too many Black families are left mourning loved ones while searching for answers. Too many families feel like their voices are ignored. To this day, our family believes Daniel deserves a complete and thorough investigation. We are still waiting for accountability, transparency, and justice. No family should have to spend years wondering what really happened to someone they love. Daniel mattered. His life mattered. His story deserves to be heard. Please continue sharing his name and his story. We will never stop asking for the truth, and we will never stop fighting for justice for Daniel. Dallas Police Department, Rowlett Police Department, Smash the Topic, the Big Draco. These are people who do local news in the area. They were asking them for their help. I don't know if y'all could see that. Were y'all able to see that? I don't know if y'all saw that, but I'm going to let me see if I can find. I think I pulled up the young man who one of the young men who he left home with. Give me a second. Here it is. Let's go. Let's go. I did pull it up. Good morning. Good morning, Symmetry. Driving, just sick of this race. Me too, Sergeant Charge. I am sick of it. You be careful while you're driving. Please hit that like button. Please, please, please. And thank you. Like I said, today's going to be a little heavy, but we're going to talk about it. These are things we must discuss in our communities. Arrest made in connection to the teens drowning at Lake Ray Hubbard. Remember, we just talked about this young man. His name was Daniel Ewing. His name was Daniel Ewing. They called him Mike. But Mike actually left with some Caucasian young men on a fishing trip. And he actually never returned home. These kids went home. When they went home, the next day went to school. And this young man never returned home. Let's go ahead with this. It says, a 19-year-old Lucas Roper has been arrested and charged with tampering with evidence in connection to a teen's drowning in April at Lake Ray Hubbard. The arrest affidavit states Roper discarded Ewing's clothing and cell phone after he drowned, as well as deleted all digital communication with the victim before his arrest. According to the affidavit, Roper told police he deleted all communication with Ewing because he knew there would be an investigation and he did not want to get in trouble. This is the young man. One of the young men who he was with. Well, we know Dallas police arrested 19-year-old Lucas Roper on July the 9th. He has been charged with one count of tampering with physical evidence. Roper was arrested in connection to the April 13th drowning of 18-year-old Daniel Irving at Lake Ray Hubbard. Irving's body was discovered April 17th, 4 days after he drowned. Dig deeper. An arrest affidavit states after Ewing drowned, Roper and a juvenile suspect threw Ewing's clothes into the tree line near a bridge above Lake Ray Hubbard. Police also learned 2 suspects fled the scene in Roper's vehicle. As they fled, the juvenile suspect threw Ewing's phone out of the vehicle. The Rowlett Police Department later recovered Ewing's clothes and cell phone, on which they located phone calls and messages between Roper and Irving from the day of the drowning. According to the affidavit, Roper told police that he communicated with Irving the day of the drowning to set a day of fishing and swimming at the lake. Roper told police after the trio jumped into the lake from the bridge, Irving drowned. Roper said he panicked and deleted all cell phone communications with Irving from his phone. The 19-year-old said he deleted the communication because he did not want to get in trouble, as he knew there would be an investigation into Irving's death. Police later interviewed the juvenile suspect, who told police Roper told him to throw Irving's cell phone from the vehicle as they were fleeing the lake. Notice the word fleeing. What we don't know the status of the juvenile suspect. So that is just where we stand with that. But we do know that there was an arrest, and hopefully this family can get to the bottom and get some answers. They deserve answers. This family deserves answers. So sad. It will probably be ruled as an accident, which we know was not. Exactly, Black Butterfly. Exactly. Tampering. What about the unalive charge? Because I'm convinced they did it. Me too, and I don't even know all of the surrounding details. All I know is I remember seeing his face being plastered on the internet back in April because I reshared it. But to know that someone was arrested this past week kind of gave me a little hope. But I still want to make sure that something happens, that we get to the bottom of what happens to this young man.
We definitely do. What would you be afraid of if y'all was jumping in the water and he drowned? Why would you be afraid?
Mm-hmm.
If he voluntarily jumped in the water because y'all was swimming, what would you be afraid about?
What would you be afraid about? That's what.
And why was he unrecognizable after only 4 days in the water?
That part.
Man.
Crazy. All of you just said, it seems to me that a lot of people's conscience does not bother them anymore. It's like the compassion has been lost. Butterfly said yesterday she thinks that we're getting, what was the word she used, Butterfly? I don't want to say accustomed, but we're getting it's like
Desensitized.
desensitized. We've been neutralized because we see this so often. And I believe it happens to these young people, and we may never want to believe it, but I believe video games have a lot to do with it. Because my grandson sits in here and he plays video games all day long. But I will say this: he's 12, but he's one of the most sensitive kids you ever want to meet. And I hope to God he never becomes desensitized to his surroundings and what's going on in the world. I pray to God. Let's keep this family up in our prayers. Daniel Ewing was his name. Daniel was only 18 years old when he lost his life back in April. And on July the 9th, which was this past Wednesday, I believe, this young man was arrested and charged with tampering.
They need to do better. They need to do better too, tampering with evidence.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do better than that. They need unaliving.
Mm-hmm.
Under suspicious circumstances, however that go. No.
And maybe that was their way of getting him in there to get him to talk. I don't know, but I'm gonna keep my eye on this one, so that we could just know we're gonna follow up on these to make sure that we are staying abreast of what's going on in the country. Again, like I told you, this is gonna be a heavy day. Heavy day. Let's see what I got next. My God, today. I don't want to do him first. Hold on. Let's talk about this one. I'm going to be starting and stopping, okay? Just so we'll know. There was a young lady who, her name was Tonia Nicole Miller, who actually was found hanging from a tree. Hanging from a tree. Let's listen to this. This is indisputable with Mr. Ricky. Mr. Ricky. Let me see where I push play at.
Family of a woman found hanging from a tree speaks out. This story has a lot of moving parts, and obviously this is one of the most unfortunate. And
I'm gonna be stopping this a lot just because of fair use, okay? So please don't get upset with me. This is just fair use. Let's go.
Unbelievable tragedies a family will face. Put up the picture for mask. 27-year-old Tania Miller was found dead near a Miami park on June 18th. She had been living in Miami since the month of February, while her family was located in Michigan. They were located in Michigan.
I'm gonna go back because I got distracted. I want to hear where exactly. I want to pull up something.
While her family was 27-year-old Tania Miller was found dead near a Miami park on June 18th. She had been living in Miami since the month of February, while her family was located in Michigan. They were located in Michigan. She was in Miami. Family members tell us that she was found without her phone.
This story is so tragic because she was somewhere where she didn't even live, right? Hey, good morning, blessed by God. I hope you're doing okay. I am doing good. I hope you are feeling good today. And I hope God gives you a blessed day to be able to walk around and just be able to smell the air and it be fresher. I just hope today's good for you. Good morning, Brown Girls Rocks. So this young lady, Nicole, or her name was Tonia, was actually from Michigan, but was in Miami. Her family was getting ready to relocate. But she actually was there, and she was found without her cell phone and other personal artifacts that belonged to her.
Although Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office claimed she was found with all of her personal property. Shortly after finding her body, her family says that her death was ruled that it was ruled that she unalived herself by the Miami-Dade Police Department.
Shortly after, like really quick. Like boom, boom. They get her down. Okay, she hung herself from the tree.
They've confirmed it with our team. So the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office responded on June 18th, 2026. The MDSO Homicide Bureau investigated, and the autopsy results conducted by the Miami-Dade medical examiner determined that this was a death by way of self-infliction.
So it happened in June. Good. I'm glad you're feeling good today. It happened in June, and the autopsy that they conducted said that it was self-inflicted. Self-inflicted, and now she's not here, but she didn't have her cell phone with her and none of her personal artifacts, although Miami-Dade Police Department says she did.
Someone unalived themselves, according to their report. Miller's aunt, Michelle Howell, traveled to Miami to identify her niece's body. She told NBC6 News on Friday that after speaking with the investigator assigned to the case and speaking with the medical examiner.
Ooh, just taking a quick break, you guys, because like I told you, fair use, I have to say something in between. So the aunt went from Michigan to Miami to identify the niece's body. She told the news station that after speaking with the investigator assigned to the case, with the medical examiner, the family also believes Miller took her own life. The family believes it as well.
The family also believes that the young Miss Miller took her own life. Quote, after talking with the investigator on the case and speaking with the medical examiner, it was, Howell said, after gathering information and investigating, it was not homicide, end quote. However, Tonia's sister, her name is Terry Miller, disputes that her sister unalived herself.
So the aunt who came down to identify the young lady says that she believes it was suicide. You know, you're always going to have those who are going to, dance for the person. And then the sister was like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Too many inconsistencies. I'm not buying that this is the truth. But the aunt has already made a statement to the news saying that, yeah, I believe it.
This is her sister speaking at the NAACP press conference. Here it is.
I have been told, yes, very formally by Detective Chastain, my sister committed suicide. There was no foul play. That's what he wants me to believe. But if anybody knew that my sister, Tornado Nicole, that's the last thing she would do. That's the last thing she's thinking about. She loved life too much. She was too spirited. She was too beautiful.
I just wonder, what will it take for us to have thorough investigations when we are unalived or when they find us? For there to be consistency and not inconsistency, for them to give all of the facts and not part of the facts, for them to say, no, she did not have all of her belongings, instead of saying, oh yeah, because I'm sure it's just a quick cell phone. She had her cell phone, she had all of her clothes, she had her ID, she had a car, she had her car keys, she had her house keys, whatever it was. I just feel like, why is it that it's so hard for certain people to get a thorough investigation instead of, oh yeah, we're a rule of suicide and let's just shut the case down?
Beautiful. Do you guys know that's a suicide, right? Yeah, it's a suicide. But I haven't been able to retrieve a police report that I've tried to get multiple times via voicemail, via email. I've called multiple times consistently. I only get that I should leave. Oh, and then I also talked to James Dale, the medical examiner.
Where are the parents? Where are Nicole's parents?
He said there's no 100% autopsy report yet either, because the toxicology report was done, and that won't be back before 2 to 6 months. This is not what they're telling you it is, suicide.
which is true. Toxicology takes 6 to 8 weeks to return. You say, I wonder what made the aunt come to that conclusion. Probably just what they told her. She went off face value instead of looking into all of the details. And I wonder, was she staying with the aunt? How well did the aunt know her, other than going down to identify her? So there's a lot of missing details to this. But I just really feel like the aunt stepping up to say, oh, I believe this, going to the news, and then the sister going to the NAACP saying, I want a thorough investigation. I want to know what's going on. I want a police report. I want to see it with my own 2 eyes.
It's not real.
The family's looking for answers. That's all. They're in pain. They're grieving.
And that's the part. When you're grieving, there, the 5 steps to grief. What is it? I have to always Google this. The 5 stages of grief. And everybody goes through them. Everybody. And believe it or not, when you go through those 5 stages, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. And believe it or not, I tell y'all, I lost my mom 2 years ago in April, and I didn't go through the denial, and I don't think I went through the anger, but I know I went through the bargaining, and I definitely am stuck in depression. I am stuck I've accepted it, but that depression lingers after that death. So I do know that when families are hurting, sometimes we just want it over with, because you can't really start healing until it's over with. I'm calling the FBI to investigate God for, I don't know what that means. Sorry to charge. Explain. I know you're driving.
You know what grief is? Grief is unexpressed love.
That's it. Grief is unexpressed love that I cannot get out. So I have to hold it in, because I can't share it with you because you're not here anymore. So now I have to hold this love inside of me, all of this love I have for you, and I don't know how to get it out. So that's why it becomes denial, anger, and acceptance, and bargaining. That's why all of those things, because that is what grief is.
That's what grief is. And when you have a sibling taken from you, however that happens, and you thought you had tomorrow, the next week, the next month, the next year, the next however many years in front of you, that's a lot of unexpressed love inside of your body.
So true. I'm going to stop sharing that. Butterfly, you have any input on this?
The aunt is very disappointing.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think she should have spoke to anybody outside of her sister or father or whoever she's related to in this situation before she spoke to any news outlet.
I agree.
I think the aunt made a misstep with talking to them people. And there are some people that you can just tell them anything and they don't look past the surface value. They don't try to think outside the box. Listen, I just think the aunt was out of order. And I know it was probably hard for her flying, to another state to view her niece for her family. But at the same time, she shouldn't have said anything to any news outlet. Because now they're gonna pin each other. They're gonna pin them against each other.
Definitely. We're talking about Florida,
right? And I don't think the aunt is aware of how redneck Florida is. I was in Jacksonville and had to walk past a bar every day that had a Confederate flag on it, and that's Jacksonville. So I don't think the aunt understands the dynamics. Maybe she thought Florida was different than Michigan, which I don't know. I'm completely flabbergasted by the aunt. I'm sorry.
Me too.
I pray that the family does get answers. And this is the sad thing about it. The type of investigation these people need is costly. It's costly. And unfortunately, what we've seen in a lot of these situations is we have people that are just straight vile and disgusting and will make up fake GoFundMes and take away the resources that the family really need, because people can't think about if it's a real, if it's a fake, if it belongs to this person, if it doesn't. It's just out of control. And the aunt, I just feel like the aunt she just misstepped. She really did. She really did. And I want people to understand the history with Black people in America and hanging themselves. I truly believe that even if they wanted to take their life, the last thing they would do is go hang themselves from a tree. A tree, out of all places they could hang themselves.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't understand.
Yeah, I totally agree. Sergeant Charles said she's calling the FBI if this happens to one of her family members to investigate. And I totally agree. I think that we have to get beyond what we think, which is what I believe this Aunt ran with, and go with what we know. Next, let's found this other article. Like I said, today's heavy. But we gotta know. Illinois man reported missing. Police find the body of a man reported missing from a Michigan music festival. This happened on last week. An Illinois man who attended the Electric Forest Festival in Rothbury, Michigan, and was missing Monday, June 29th, has been found unalive, police said. Gerard Jackson, 28, was last seen about 10 a.m. Monday after leaving the Electric Forest Festival. Jackson's body was found by officers in a wooded area near Rothbury, where his rental vehicle was parked. The Michigan State Police 6th District said in a release. Police said there was no indication of foul play and that the man may have taken his own life. The incident was the second reported at this year's festival, which took place June 25th through the 28th. Earlier, police reported finding an unalive newborn infant at the festival. Troopers previously responded to Jackson's campsite on Monday after he reported a criminal incident involving a friend. Officers conducted an investigation and determined there was no evidence that an incident had occurred at the festival. Jackson left the venue shortly afterwards, leaving his phone and personal belongings behind. Did that make any sense? None whatsoever. The Michigan State Police extends its sincere condolences to Jackson's family and loved ones who during this difficult time. A post from MSP's 6th District reads, police said they believe the man was unalive by suicide, but the investigation remains ongoing, pending the final report for the medical examiner. Electric Forest, Michigan's largest music festival, attracts tens of thousands each and every year. The festival takes place in Rothbury in West Michigan annually. Rothbury is about 22 miles north of Muskegon off US 31 between Whitehall and New Era. Then it gives the number, call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline or Lifeline 24 hours a day at 800-273-8255 to speak to a counselor if you're in crisis. I'm going to say that again, just in case, because people do take their own lives. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline 24 hours a day at 800-273-8255. Butterfly, what do you have to, and shout out to the Detroit Free Press for that.
They left out that this is another Black boy that went with 2 white friends.
They did. That part they did. They did.
And the fact that here we have another altercation that a Black friend had with his white friends and reached out to the police, and they don't find that him hanging the next day is suspicious.
Okay. After leaving all your personal belongings behind. How do you walk away from your phone and everything else and go hang yourself out of a tree? I don't get it.
The young man already felt in danger. You're calling police in a state that you travel to with friends that you know from home. He felt in danger. And the fact that he actually lost his life after calling for help,
it's sad.
With them 2 white friends that I'm quite sure flew back home before he was even discovered.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure. That's the way it normally works, isn't it? They go home to safety. Yeah, totally agree with that. Brown Girls Rock says, and does one do that alone from a tree? I've often wondered, how do you do that alone from a tree? But I guess it's possible.
And why would he have rope on him?
Right. That was
Where did he go get rope from? Like,
yeah. Where did you run? Do we have a video of him at Home Depot or at Lowe's
right.
or at Walmart? I mean, show us something. Find something besides initially just saying, it looks to be he's self-inflicted. Just it's wild to me.
And the thing that's pissing me off with this police, when they come back with this, we believe it was self-inflicted, is they're not waiting for autopsies. They're not waiting for toxicology reports. They're coming right out, it has to be suicide. And we rule it. How are you ruling anything? And you're saying that you're still investigating. So what are you ruling on if you're still investigating? Make it make sense.
I agree 100% with that. What are you ruling on? Mm-hmm. You said, ooh, this Saturday scoop is heavy today, LadyRo. I told y'all in Unity, this was not going to be our normal Saturday morning scoop. I got one more I want to pull in. All of this is tragic. One more I want to pull in, and that is Nolan. Nolan Wells. And this, oh my God, just makes me so sad. Nolan Wells makes me so sad. A 4th of July boat trip, an 18-year-old's death, and a family search for answers in the Deep South. This is Nolan Wells, good-looking young man, 18 years old. From my understanding, a model student, great athlete, comes out of a little town in Mississippi, as my husband say, Mississippi. A person holds a picture of Nolan Xavier Wells during a news conference at National Action Network headquarters Friday, July the 10th, 2026 in New York. Good-looking young man. And a mama who is grieving so heavily. Let's get into this article. A week ago, 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells took a boat trip with friends to celebrate the 4th of July on an island off of the Mississippi Gulf Coast. He never came back. 2 days later, he was found unalive. What happened? Wells' parents say is a mystery, riddled with conflicting stories, implausible explanations, and missing details. It is a case shadowed by the state's fraught racial history and lingering distrust in law enforcement. At a news conference Friday in New York City, Christine and Elmore Wansley called for a thorough and transparent investigation into their son's death. Skeptical of claims that Wells told his friends to leave the island without him, and suggested that he, an elite athlete who knew how to swim, had accidentally drowned. Wells' body was found early Monday along the shore of Horn Island, about 7 miles, 11.2 kilometers off the Mississippi coast, more than a day after he was last seen alive. The roughly 11-mile-long split of land near the Alabama state line, the island is uninhabited and only accessible by boat. About 200 people were there on July 4th, the family lawyer said. We just want to know what happened and why our baby didn't come home, Christy Wansley said, looking upward several times as she stood alongside her lawyer, Ben Crump, and the Reverend Al Sharpton, who will officiate Wells' funeral. The family commissioned an independent autopsy. Praise God for the independent autopsy. Praise God for Colin Kaepernick, who is actually paying for this independent autopsy. Crump said Wells' family has commissioned an independent autopsy performed by a forensic pathologist in Washington, D.C. Now, they had to take this young man's body from Mississippi to D.C. to have an independent autopsy because they did not trust anybody in Mississippi or anybody with any ties to Mississippi. So they took his body to a forensic pathologist in Washington, D.C. with no ties to Mississippi law enforcement while they await the results of an official autopsy, which could take weeks. They also plan to employ experts to recover messages that appear to have been deleted from his cell phone, Crump said. They will eventually turn the device over to authorities, he said. Now, the authorities are asking for the family to turn over his cell phone. But we're going to talk about that when we finish reading this article, because the cell phone and the keys to his vehicle is a whole other incident, right? Wells' family also encouraged witnesses to come forward and ask people to submit any video they recorded that may show him on Horn Island, echoed a call by Jackson County Sheriff's Office to help shed light on the moments before Wells' disappearance and his unalive. A photo posted on social media, purportedly from the boat ride to the island, shows Wells with his arms around 3 white male friends. Sheriff John Ledbetter said Wells' friends were cooperating and that investigators don't suspect foul play. Okay. Crump said those friends now have lawyers and that his investigators haven't attempted to speak with them yet. Wells' death has led to rampant speculation and suspicion as people grapple with Mississippi's history of racial tension and what it means to be a Black person in a majority white space. Actor and producer Tyler Perry is helping pay for Wells' funeral. Former NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick is helping pay for his independent autopsy. And filmmaker Spike Lee showed up to the news conference to show support for Wells' family. The family doesn't trust Mississippi authorities, Crump says. Crump says Wells' parents hired him to conduct an independent investigation into their son's death because they don't trust that law enforcement officials will perform a fair inquiry into a state still reckoned with its Jim Crow past, including the 1955 lynching of Emmett Till and the murders of 3 civil rights workers in the 1960s. The history of Mississippi is something that they don't just read about in books, Crump told reporters at Sharpton's National Action Network headquarters in Harlem. It's a lived experience for many Black Americans that oftentimes when our children are killed in highly questionable situations, that there is this notion that, oh, there was nothing wrong, no foul play, let's just sweep it under the rug. Well, we refuse to sweep it under the rug. It's the second case that Crump has taken on in the state in recent months. He also was recently retained by the family of a Mississippi 1-year-old who was unalive when police fired into a moving vehicle. Now, I want y'all to know this. Ben Crump is undefeated. I don't care what y'all think about Ben Crump. He is undefeated. He is. Ben Crump is a civil rights attorney. He's not a criminal law attorney. He goes after civil rights, and he's undefeated. Ledbetter told the Associated Press this week that investigators suspect that Wells chose to stay on the island with the assumption that he was going to ride back to the mainland with someone else, which doesn't make sense. Wells didn't have a cell phone or keys, but Wells didn't have a cell phone or keys. His friends did. But he gonna ride back now. I don't know about y'all. There's a little boy in this room right next to me. Between us is a restroom, but on this other side of the wall of the restroom, there's a 12-year-old boy in there in the room. And one thing he don't leave the room without is his cell phone. It's this bad boy right here. He go downstairs with it. He take it in the restroom with him every time. In fact, I went in there earlier. He asked me last night before we went to bed, Grady, can I borrow your charger? I left my charger at my dad's. And I said, sure, but I'll give it to you in the morning because I want you to go to bed and go to sleep. So this morning I woke up about 6. I went in the room with my charger, plugged it into the wall, and I said, where's your phone? And he filled around on the bed, but he was so sleepy, he didn't even try to find it. So I straightened up the cover for him, reached over and grabbed his cell phone and plugged it in for him. So his phone would be charged. But these kids don't go nowhere without their cell phones at all. It's really suspicious. Yes. Good morning, Queen Script. Good morning, everyone who to everyone who has joined. Let's get on back into this story. What teenager would leave their cell phone behind if they're going to stay on this island? This is an uninhabited island. If you my friends are going to go back into the city, I'm going to stay on this island without my keys or my cell phone. It makes zero sense. What teenager wouldn't take their phone? Crump said. It's not adding up at all. Crump said bystander video from the island showed a person he said was Wells arguing with someone to give him his phone back. In another discrepancy, Crump said that a witness reported Wells had planned to leave on the boat with his friends, contradicting the sheriff's theory. The friends come back and he's left there with some story about how he said, leave him behind, Sharpton said. But then by some magic, one of the friends has his keys and his phone. The sheriff did not return the Associated Press message seeking his response to the family's concerns. The parents tried to track down their son, then reported him missing. So these are just little excerpts that the Associated Press has done throughout. Wells' mother, Christine Wansley, said she started to worry when a friend of his called her just after 11 p.m. on July the 4th. Mind you, this same friend went home, told his mama or stepmama, I can't remember which one it was, that Nolan did not return with them. And so this young man, before he called Christine, he called the Coast Guards and he called the police department. So he knew something had happened to Nolan. He knew something had happened. After trying to track him down on her own, she reported him missing to the police and went with her husband to meet an officer in a McDonald's parking lot. She said a process exacerbated by a dispute over which law enforcement agency had jurisdiction over the island. One of Wells's friends had also reported him missing to the U.S. Coast Guard. Y'all hear that? Wells's father, Elmore Wansley, said he went out on a boat on the morning of July 5th looking for his son near Horn Island. Crews from multiple local and state agencies began an extensive search, and his body was recovered early Monday, family members confirmed. So you tell me how this young man went over to an uninhabited island with his friends to hang out for the 4th of July, which is something I hear that they do a lot. Now, they said that he stayed over to hang out with a girl, but yet and still, he ended up in the water. Not on the island, but in the water. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If he's drowning, nobody sees him drown. Nobody offers assistance. Nobody tries to help. I mean, obviously, he stands out, Crump said. I think he's the only Black person I saw when I'm looking at the videos. Christine Wansley said she used an app to track his phone, and after a friend went to where it was on land to pick it up, noticed that some of his messages appeared to be deleted. Wells, a shutterbug, at social media and family events, had 2 Snapchat accounts, but both were devoid of pictures or saved messages, she said. As they searched for their son, Elmore Wansley went to retrieve Wells's keys from the home where he stayed with friends from the boat the night before their island trip. He said his son's car was still parked in the yard. Wells, who would have turned 19 next month, played wide receiver on the football team at Southwest Mississippi Community College in Summit, Mississippi, and had aspirations of playing at a high-level Division I program. His coach, Les George, told WAPT-TV that Wells was a guy that never had a bad day. Never. He was very sociable with everyone, didn't meet a stranger, George said. He would pop up at my office and would come sit on the couch just to hang out and talk. Christy Wansley said she and her husband schooled Wells in history and talked to him about navigating the racial tensions that still permeate the South. Wells was a peacemaker who didn't like division, once breaking into a dance while still in diapers to ease tensions while his parents were arguing, they said. He wanted everyone to be included and shield away from confrontation. Nolan is a person with a big heart, Elmore Winsley said. Wells's parents said they last saw him the night before the boat trip. He came to their house, baked them salmon for dinner, and hugged his mother goodbye. As people mourn and protest Wells' death, Christine Wansley urged them to follow his example. Please be peaceful, she said. Nolan was not someone who liked fights, physical fights. He didn't even really like arguments. Don't go out there trying to be tough. Think about what Nolan would want, and he wouldn't want that type of behavior. Butterfly, what you got to say about this one?
Oh, there's so many discrepancies that even legacy media there's so many holes they're missing. They interviewed one of the people that discovered his body. In that interview, the guy admitted to his body not being waterlogged.
Exactly.
The father went out there the next morning, searched the island from head to toe. No body.
Nobody.
And the Cajun, it was the Cajun Coast Guard. It wasn't even the National Coast Guard. It was the Cajun Coast Guard. The fact that she got to run around for the keys. Okay, the father said when they got to the house, the boy Jax, because apparently Jax is whose house they stayed at the night before.
Correct.
Came to the door like he had just woken up and stated to the father, Nolan was like a brother to me. Mind you, they're in the midst of still trying to find Nolan. So did he say was or is like a brother to me? Because if he is or was like a brother to you, why didn't y'all, as soon as y'all got back to land and know that y'all didn't come with him and y'all knew that y'all had his possessions, including that cell phone, go straight to his mother's house and let her know, listen, we can't find him. He wanted to stay on the island. We took off. He didn't grab his keys or his phone. Here they go. Why does the mother have to track the phone down? And even the friend that sent to go get the phone had difficulty. They wouldn't give the friend the phone.
Right.
The mother had to get on speaker and demand that they give the friend Nolan's phone. Why was there so much difficulty with the keys? They had to call another young lady that was over there the night before to tell because the friends showed up. So apparently before the father even got there, the friends that are familiar with everybody and everything showed up at the house trying to get his keys, right? Prior to the father showing up.
From my understanding, the keys were on top of a TV or something like that. Like
they was on top of a PlayStation that they had to call a girl on the phone that was there the night before because Jax, Mr. I'm just waking up. I don't know what's going on, but he's like a brother to me. Went the first time, said he couldn't find the keys. The father said he waited 3 minutes. Jax came back, said he couldn't find the keys. The father said the friends were starting to get a little hype. He had to calm them down. And the father himself said that he had to remember the purpose and what they had going on. And he didn't want to irritate the situation because they needed to get the keys. He said the tension did start to rise because Jax was acting like he didn't know nothing. He didn't know where the keys was. He went the first time, 3 minutes, took him 3 minutes, came back, said he didn't know where the keys was. By then, they moved off the porch, went to the vehicle. The friend called a young lady on the phone that told them the keys were on the PlayStation or the whatever, the gaming system.
Right.
The boy, the father went back to the porch and told the boy, listen, the girl said the keys was on your PlayStation. Something that we know that they play every day. They probably played it that night before they went to sleep to get ready for that boat trip the next morning. Okay. The fact that the girl remembered that the keys was there, but you running in and out talking about you can't find them. So when he went back and told him, listen, this is where the girl said the keys will be, he took 5 minutes, but then came back with the keys. Why are we holding keys and phone hostages? And I believe that it wasn't that he had 2 Snapchats. They erased the backup. You know how we all got backups? Like we put stuff in the trash, but it still don't completely get erased checked. There's still a whole nother trash that you got to go in and and permanently delete it. They're smart enough to know that. And from my understanding, the boy's phone and get in his phone had bio recognition. So in other words, you need his face to get in his phone.
Wow,
So how?
I didn't think about that. Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
So
that's
it
why
has
I'm like,
to be
there's a lot of stuff that the media is
Mhm.
leaving out. And I find it odd that the sheriff's office now don't want to talk when they hop their behind on there and told a Good Morning America they don't find no foul play. So like you're picking and choosing what news outlets you want to respond to too. And then the
Ooh,
mother, the judge mother, the stepmother of Wyatt, apparently that's the stepmother, that's the judge with the connections.
right.
She done came out 2 different times and wrote posts. Now, here's what's killing me about these people. They want sympathy, talk about they getting threats. She showed this one particular troll. It was one troll that was repeatedly writing the same thing. And then she showed the inbox of people wanting answers. They're not necessarily trolling her. They want answers. You deactivated, then reactivated because it looked funny. Oh, we deactivated because we want to protect our children. Well, was nobody worried about the protection of Nolan or worried about
Right.
his family.
Right.
But you want to make sure you protect your children. And now we got all this sympathy. Oh, this is horrible. They shouldn't be threatening you. A young man is unalive, and your stepson and his friends, their first statement was, "We don't remember."
We don't
But then
remember.
once Katie went and gave her testimony, now y'all remember that oh yeah, we left him with Katie. He said he wanted to stay. How you went from not remembering to now coming up with a whole conjured up story after Katie went and gave her statement?
Right. And
And
then
then
Katie,
you read,
but Katie
yeah,
said that he didn't leave with her. He told her, "Let me go because I don't want them to leave me here on the island."
right. That part. And I really believe they walked up on him while talking to Katie, and that's when she separated. I don't know why I get this feeling, but I think Katie is scared too. First of all, the parents of these 3 boys have connections. We got a judge, we got a doctor, we got a lawyer, we got a police officer in
Yes.
these families.
Yes.
Okay. The mere fact that as soon as they came back, before his body was even found, they deactivated their accounts, and that includes the parents, deactivated their accounts.
Mhm.
Okay. Photoshopped that boat picture because there's another boat picture floating around with that has supposedly Nolan supposed to have a drink in his hand. Allegedly, apparently, that's photoshopped. The original picture you see that he's in between, right? 2 of the friends. There's 4 of them in the photo, counting Nolan. His arms is behind the 2 friends that he's in between. So
Right.
where did this photo come up with the liquor in his hand? And he know that Monday he got to go start boot camp at his school.
Right. You got to go to training.
He's
for
an
football.
athlete.
Mhm.
Right. And you get tested. This is college.
Right.
He's not going to risk that, knowing what he got planned for his future. He want to have a good time, but I highly doubt that young man took a drink or any, because then there's this thing about them some people in the town has been coming forward saying them young men participate in some other extracurricular activities.
I'm almost positive
Right.
they do. I'm almost positive they do.
I'm almost positive they do too. And here's the thing. I think Nolan was not one. Yeah.
I think the parents are very much aware of it. That's why they lawyered up, because they probably used to getting these little raggedy butts out of trouble. Almost positive they're used to these.
I guarantee you at least one of them had some trouble that mother got them out of. I believe it. And come to find out, let's get more into this judge mama. Come to find out, and I remember seeing this on TikTok a couple of years ago. There was a lady whose daughter unalived herself from being bullied. The mother ended up getting arrested, and her social media kept getting shut down. The judge allegedly, rumor has it, apparently, her niece was involved in the bullying of the young lady that got unalive. Somehow, the mother ended up being a judge on the case and told the mother that she couldn't express her grief for answers of her daughter unaliving herself and being bullied. She was, banished from social media. And speaking of her daughter's situation, and allegedly, rumor has a word on the curve is the judge niece was involved in that situation. Now, here's another issue with the judge mother. There was a woman that was going through a domestic violence situation. She asked the judge if the drop-off location for the child to be exchanged between her and the other significant other, estranged significant other, if they could do that at the police station. This judge, allegedly, rumor has a word on the curve is, I believe this is in black and white, told the woman no. And she ended up getting unalived at a Dollar Tree, exchanging the child.
Oh my God.
So the judge is already fishy to me. Now, here's the problem I have. The first statement she came out here because she's the backlash from them deactivating their accounts. So she called herself reactivating the account. She gave this old statement, we're fully cooperating. Here's the problem I have, because then she did another statement the day before yesterday talking about speaking of the threats that her young children are getting, and show some screenshots. Like I said, to me, that they could have did that. They could have made up a troll page, because it was a faceless troll page. Now the other screenshots she showed of messages, they wasn't really disrespectful. They said we want answers. Your sons was there. What they know. You can see some of the beginning of the statements in the messages that she also shared. Here is the problem I have. Why are y'all looking for sympathy? Then you sat up there in the first statement and said that y'all are fully cooperating with the police. And then in the second statement, where now you're playing victim, right? You're telling me that you haven't talked to anybody, but you are willing to talk to Ben Crump and you haven't talked to the mother yet?
Right.
Your kids, and in the first statement, you want to point out that you knew the mother. You and the mother grew up together. Y'all went to the same school. Doesn't mean that y'all were friends.
At all.
Let's be very clear. Just because you went to school with the mother and is aware who she is, does not mean that y'all was friends. So miss me with that, okay? Then, like I said, in the first statement, y'all said y'all are fully cooperating. So why in the second statement, you're now talking about we haven't spoke to anyone, but we will? And then want to tag Ben Crump in these so-called threats. I don't believe. Listen, like I said,
he's not threatening them.
No. And my thing is, if y'all keep saying y'all fully cooperating, why you keep coming back with these statements talking about y'all will cooperate? Either you have already fully cooperated or you haven't.
That part.
So you don't want to admit the notion that y'all lawyered up. So you wanted this, to me, it's giving you wanted this onslaught to come on. So now that would be your excuse for why y'all lawyered up, when y'all had already lawyered up the minute that boy went missing and them kids came back and told you what's going on. Now, allegedly, rumor has it, one of the covers, they're also saying that the father and a couple of the boys was caught at midnight cleaning out the boat. The boat that you said that needed to be wheeled back in. But how did y'all get back to shore if the boat needed to be wheeled back in? See, something ain't making no sense about the so-called boat was filling with water, neither.
Right.
Because there's people that on the island that said, y'all claimed that the last time y'all seen him was at 3, but y'all didn't leave the island until 4:30. And if you said to him, if y'all told him to come on and get on the boat, we're leaving, we're having some issues, we need to go ahead and go back to land, and that so-called was supposed to be at 3 o'clock, how did y'all end up leaving at 4:30? So when exactly did y'all last speak to him and see him?
But think of it like this. Let's say 3:30. The sun is still up, but you make it back without this young man who went with you. None of it makes any sense. It just don't make no sense. Period. No matter how they slice it,
doesn't.
The story don't make sense. It's not. And
no. My thing is, you keep saying he was going to go back with some other people. Why haven't the other people came forward that he was so-called going to go back with? Why has nobody claimed that, oh yeah, we was going to take him back? Nobody has came forward to say that. Not one single solitary soul.
He was going to go back without his keys and his phone?
That part. So he was going to let y'all take his phone and his keys, and then when he got back to the island, he was supposed to search the town for y'all to get to his vehicle?
Right.
With no way of communicating or reaching out to y'all when he got back to land to retrieve his vehicle? And yeah.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense. I'm trying to think of I think they're called the Murdochs. What was the name of that family?
Yes, it is the Murdochs. It is definitely giving Murdoch vibes.
Remember how the family was full of, it was a Murdoch. The family was full of, attorneys. Everybody had an attorney. Everybody was an attorney, and their kids just stayed in the middle of some mess. And the dads was constantly trying to get the son out of stuff. That's the vibe I'm getting from them. Rich people with a lot of money who just go out and do bull swanky. And remember, in the Murdochs in South Carolina, they actually unalived somebody on a boat. Remember? They all went out on a boat, and a young man ended up passing away because the speedboat was going too fast and it ran
Young
over
lady.
something?
The
Huh?
young lady.
Yeah,
The young
that's what
lady. It was a young
it was.
lady.
Somebody that passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, the Murdochs out of South Carolina. Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed. Yes, that man's sentence was just overturned. He's getting out of prison. Yeah, but his son, we're not talking about him. We talk about the son. The son that was unalive that he actually got sentenced for was always in the middle of some mess. He had a boat accident. They'd taken a boat from him. He'd go do something else. He was just always in something. And a young lady passed away because of that. Susie said, jealousy is a dangerous state of mind, passing away. What happened to not socializing with someone if you don't like them or have nothing in common? I totally agree with that. But leaving them out there leaving his body out there without saying, hey, if it was so innocent, hey, we was out there, y'all, and something happened to Nolan and we couldn't get him out of the water. That would have at least given them an opportunity to go out there and retrieve his body. But you didn't even do that. You left him out there like he was a dog, like he was just an animal that just been hit by a car. That's so unfair. So unfair.
I just wonder if he was actually left out there and not planted out there after the first search, because everybody on that 5th, on July 5th, between the parents and the Cajun Coast Guards, nobody seen a body until the 6th.
That part.
Mind you, they said that there was people that slept overnight that camped out on the island. And then they said that they have Coast Guards that go and check the island to make sure that nobody's left on the island.
Correct.
During the night. That patrol the island. So there's a lot of things that's not adding up. And the fact that they gave the mother a runaround to even report him missing is a problem for me.
That part.
So some phone calls was already made.
Had to be.
To hinder the search for the boy.
But we do know that once the kids arrived back at home, one of them told their mom, and that mother told them to notify the authorities and to call the Coast Guards. The Coast Guards were already notified before Christine, the mother, actually called them. She was already notified of that. You said calling from the scene of the crime, exactly, if it was something that they had nothing to do with, allegedly. I totally agree with that. They left him out there without a second thought about the kid. They should have constant nightmares, just heartless. Oh, I totally agree. I hope they don't get eating not one night of sleep. But we already know the dad went over to Jack's house and he said Jack seemed like he was knocked out. But Jack may be taking something allegedly. I don't know. This could be the truth or not, to help him sleep. You know what I'm saying? Queen Script said, I just do not get it. Me either. Susie said, I'm so angry. Our babies are being unalived at an alarming rate. And I totally agree with that. I told y'all today was gonna be a little heavy, but we got to hit sometimes the hard stuff. I want y'all to listen to this video. It's only 3 minutes. This is the Cajun Navy talking about the search that they did to find Nolan.
An 18-year-old from Mississippi was found dead after being reported missing on July 4th, following a holiday boat outing with friends. Wells's mother, Christine Wansley, contacted the search and rescue team, the United Cajun Navy, to help find her son. And that group mobilized immediately. Surface vessels, drones, boots on the ground.
I want to tell you a little bit about the Cajun Navy, just who they are and what they do. The Cajun Navy is an informal network of volunteer boat owners, many from Louisiana, who use their personal boats to rescue people and animals during floods, hurricanes, and other natural disasters. The group is not an official government agency. Instead, it is made up of ordinary citizens who organize themselves, often through social media, to help when emergencies overwhelm local resources. Some key factors that originate in Louisiana, where many residents own shallow, drifting, fishing, or airboats and have experience navigating flood waters. They gained national attention during Hurricane Katrina and the floods of 2016, Hurricane Harvey in Texas, rescuing thousands of stranded people. Volunteers often coordinate with local emergency responders when possible. Through operations can also be independently organized. So the family, Miss Christine Worsley, called them and independently organized them to go out and help find Nolan's Nolan's body or to find Nolan. They didn't know what they were looking for because they were getting no answers. All she knew was her gut was telling her something wasn't right with Nolan. Let's go.
All to search Horn Island, Mississippi, and the surrounding waters. Joining me now is the Vice President of the Cajun Navy, Brian Trasher. Brian, thank you so much for coming on. You were contacted by Nolan's mother to help with this search. How quickly were you able to mobilize the team, and how does a search like this even unfold?
Well, I think that the first calls came in. The first dispatch wasn't from Nolan's mother, but eventually we did get in touch with her. I think it was either late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, July 5th.
So the first dispatch was not from Nolan's mother. Let me clear that up. But they did get in touch with her and speak with her.
But it was about midday on July 5th when we contacted some volunteers from our Mississippi chapter, and were able to put a boat out with a rescue specialist and a drone operator. And they searched a better part of the day on Sunday until the weather forced them to come back in. They did not find anything of interest, and so that's when we decided to go to the air. Another volunteer had offered to let us use his plane out of Gulfport, Mississippi, and so we did that Monday morning and flew a grid for a few hours before we noticed some activity on the beach on the northwest tip of Horn Island.
So when you say activity, what does that mean? What does that entail?
So we were flying back north from the Chandeliers, and we had already come south over Horn Island a couple times at that point, but I noticed there was a couple boats posted up on the beach pretty close to each other. It was a Monday. It obviously they weren't fishing, so we just descended down and started circling to take a look, and it was obvious that they were some kind of law enforcement agency. As we descended further and circled,
remember, they went out on the 5th and there was no activity. But when they returned the next day, there was activity.
Around, I could see that there was human remains on the beach.
So I know your team's focus was all about bringing him home.
Yeah,
that was part of what you were doing. But did you, I mean, without getting ahead of this investigation, did you see anything, notice anything that could give us a little bit more details on what exactly happened?
You know, we have not been able to plug the hole from about 4 o'clock on the 4th of July, when that was the last eyewitness that we had talked to, had eyes on Nolan, up until the time when he was found. So sometime between then and Monday morning, he went into the water and unfortunately did not come out alive.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit. He said they have not been able to plug a hole since the time he gave a timeline, and somehow or another he got in the water. But let's listen to this again, because I want to make sure I hear him plainly and make sure the volume's all the way up.
So sometime between then and Monday morning, he went into the water.
When? I want to know when.
So some on Nolan, up until the time when he was found. So sometime between then and Monday morning, he went into the water and unfortunately did not come out alive. I don't, everything that we have is really just by people who have contacted us and told us their story. The police are doing their investigation. There's going to be private investigations, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that's not really our wheelhouse. Our wheelhouse is finding Nolan, and we hope we find him alive. But at least he is coming home.
Yeah, you're giving.
That is the Cajun Navy. Shout out to the Cajun Navy. It reflects both the Cajun culture of Southern Louisiana and the volunteers' use of boats, much like a civilian Navy responding to disasters. Shout out to them. Butterfly said, mind you, this is a different story about who called from when he first was interviewed. Butterfly, step on back.
Yeah, this guy gives me compromised because he was interviewed right fresh when this happened, right fresh after the body that was discovered. Now, he does not believe the stories. Now, like I said, he in his first interview, he said he does not believe the story, does not believe the timeline. He also said that his body was not waterlogged, which he's not bringing up right now anymore. He's not spoken of anymore. I believe this man was compromised because he also said that the mother was the one who contacted them. You see how he can't even tell you specifically, oh, they was contacted. He didn't say them boys contacted them. He said, oh, somebody was contacted. He didn't even say the National Guard. And my thing is, they claiming the family claiming they called the National Guard. When did they call the National Guard?
That's what I want to
It
know.
gives me you called the National Guard after the mother tracked the phone. Because at the end of the day, y'all still hadn't spoken to that mother. Y'all came back to land. There's another girl from in the town, allegedly rumor has a word on the curve. They said y'all came back to town. We were seen at multiple parties that night. Mind you, this is still 4th of July evening, weekend. Y'all came back to town and was seen partying. And then y'all was seen the next day, all of y'all with y'all family sitting down having breakfast. And when you was approaching, asked why you wasn't out there searching, you said, y'all already think we did it. Or at least that's what the girl said, one of the statements y'all made. So there's a lot, and this, like I said, I believe this man is compromised because what he first said when he was first interviewed, it's done changed. It's done changed. And now, like he said, the person that interviewed him, he originally said he don't believe the stories that the kids gave. It don't add up. Yes, let's try to find his first interview. He had on a blue shirt, LadyRo.
That's what I'm looking for. Why you?
Yep, he had on a blue shirt in that interview, navy blue one. Oh yeah, I definitely believe the payouts have started. The payouts are rolling out. That's why I'm glad. Shout out to Colin Kaepernick for getting that body sent to Washington D.C. to get an independent pathology, pathology. You know the word I'm looking for. I'm having a brain freeze right now, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. But I definitely believe the payouts have begun.
The forensic pathology autopsy report.
Thank you, LadyRo, because I was having a brain freeze trying to get that out. Brain fog, whatever. But I definitely also allegedly rumor has it. I don't know this to be fact, but this is what I believe. Me individually believe that the payouts have started. Because, like I said, that man's tone has changed since his first interview when his fresh happened.
Does this look like the video, Butterfly? Let's listen. See what he says.
Yeah, let's listen. I know he had that blue shirt on, but it looked like he was still in a car or something. But let's see what he's saying.
I pulled up another one. I pulled up another one of a guy in a car with a long beard. He's part of the Cajun Navy as well. But different guys are gonna have different stories. Let's see.
They canvassed around. They went and ran a grid with the boat, put the drone up, looking for any signs of Nolan. Did not find anything by late afternoon. Some weather was moving in offshore. So out of abundance of caution, they came back in, and that's when we decided that we were going to put a plane up the next morning on 6th July. There was a story that Nolan might have tried to walk to the middle of the island. There's like a lagoon with ponds. But they went over there and they showed me pictures saying, hey, look, there's a lot of thorny bush. There's cactuses. If he was over here barefoot, he would have abandoned this idea.
So did he not have on shoes either?
Nope.
Yeah, pretty quick.
No shoes, no clothes. Well, I guess he had on swim trunks or whatever.
Quickly, so we don't think that there's any reason to really search around here. Sure, yeah, I was told that the park ranger called in the discovery about 8:45 a.m. And I knew it was between 8:30 and 8:45 when we had flown.
So they found him Monday morning around 8:45 a.m.
I'm back over north of the island and noticed activity on the beach that was not there earlier. And so that was when, again, we saw a lot more boats coming to the island, and that there was a makeshift command post being set up on the beach. And as we descended lower and started circling, I could see that there was a body laying on the beach.
So the discovery was him. How did Nolan's mother respond when the sheriff told her that?
I wasn't with her when it happened. I think my incident commander was there. He described it as when she pulled up at the boat launch and saw him, she ran over to him and just collapsed in his arms. And I think she was just despondent for a while. So he was just trying to trying to comfort her. And, he knew everything she had been through from the beginning because we were put in touch with her very early. I think the night of July 4th was the first contact.
What's going through your mind?
So he said that they got contact with her. He said the morning of July 4th, maybe he meant 5th. Let's go back. He said 4th.
Night of July 4th was the first contact.
The night of July 4th. The night. This is the Cajun Navy. The night of July 4th.
What's going through your mind?
Just that, our worst fears were being realized. We wanted to find this boy. I wanted him to bring him back to his mother alive and well. I knew that the further we got away from the last time he was seen alive, the lower chances that would be. But in these kind of situations, you try to stay positive. You have no choice but to stay positive, or you'll go crazy. But whenever we make a recovery and it's a positively identified recovery, that's when it becomes real. And I'm a parent. I can't even imagine being in that situation. First, the horrible hours of knowing your child's missing, not knowing where he or she's at. Then you hear that they find a body, and then some.
Okay, he's just talking semantics. Let me try this one.
Now the one in the bed, he really tried to stay professional.
Did he?
The one with the bed, yeah, he just tried to stay professional because he got to ask a lot of questions on what he thought, and he just kept it plain as day. All right, there's an ongoing investigation. I'm just a part of the search.
Okay.
So he kept it real basic, yeah.
Let's see what he's saying now. Concerned friend. That's who he got the call from. So this Josh Gill is the incident commander with the United Cajun Navy.
Is it normally crowded?
Absolutely crowded. A lot. July 4th weekend, nice, pretty weather. The water was calm. That allowed a lot of vessels.
This says a lot. Water calm. It wasn't cloudy. Nice, pretty weather because I was near the coast because I was in New Orleans. It was raining. And Saturday was beautiful, though. It wasn't raining in New Orleans Saturday. It rained Sunday and it rained Monday. Rained a lot Sunday. Like it started raining early Sunday. So if we got rain in New Orleans, they probably had rain in Biloxi or on the coast where Horn Island is. But Saturday wasn't. He's right. Saturday was a beautiful day. Even in New Orleans, it was a beautiful day.
Supposed to be out.
Butterfly.
Well, at least this time, he might have read the comments on his first interview because he was real basic. Now, he didn't say, he just said in the first interview that he don't believe nobody didn't see nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't that forthcoming in his first interview. This is becoming really, I don't know, LadyRo. This is heartbreaking. Thank you. Thank you, Unity. Because I was trying to look for the word because it's just so unexplainable. And the sad thing about it, it's so unexplainable, but at the same damn time, we've seen this story before. This right here is really triggering. Remember I told y'all last night, this had me in a chokehold because I'm just like, and I feel like you say, this is giving Murdoch vibes.
Yeah.
This is giving whole Murdoch vibes because them white boys are connected, whereas Nolan was popular and well-loved and well-liked. So there's a difference already. I do believe that there was some jealousy. I believe that Noah went there with friends, and it probably was somebody that he ain't really all that friendly with, but maybe closer to one of the other boys. And I believe there's some jealousy. There was some jealousy there. And it's sad.
It is very
sad. That boy, everybody that speaks of him says how well loved, how well balanced, how community oriented he was. It reminds me of my grandfather.
Mm-hmm. And his parents even said how well balanced he was. He had both parents in the home, and they tried to provide this, and he didn't like arguing, and he didn't like conflict, even as a child. So it's heartbreaking.
And his friends said the same thing. It's one thing when your parents say it, but when the community says that about you too, a lot of the friends said that Nolan avoided conflict at all costs and really tried to make everybody find a common ground to come together and get along.
So sad. So sad. We're gonna continue the story on Nolan. This isn't the end. You're gonna be hearing more about him. We're gonna keep saying his name until justice is found, whatever justice looks like. We're gonna keep saying his name. If he drowned and it wasn't anyone's fault, we're gonna keep saying it. But there are just too many discrepancies. There are too many discrepancies. There's too many inconsistencies for us just to say that he just went out there and drowned. All you need to say, you can look at him and see that he was a good kid, good child.
Mm-hmm.
The last story we're going to talk about is a young lady by the name of Javia Harris, I believe is how you pronounce it. I may be wrong, but I think it's pronounced Javia Harris. Both of her parents have been arrested, and I believe they are on trial, or they're waiting trial. But I want to say they're on trial for her unaliving. Parents of Javia Harris, I think there may be a better way to pronounce it, dissolved her body with chemicals and poured her remains into a lake, the sheriff says. Let's see what this is talking about. I bet it's going to send us to a commercial. So if it does, give us a minute. Yep, I knew it would. 3, 2, 1. Can we skip it?
Shoot, check out Canvas.
That was the call that launched a massive search for 4-year-old Javia Harris.
What'd you say, Butterfly?
I said, check out Canvas. She had a little commercial in there.
I saw that. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a 911 call.
Massive search for 4-year-old Javia Harris.
She was outside playing, and I came out here after cooking dinner a little bit, and I'm looking for her, but I don't see her nowhere.
But tonight, arrest warrants say that story was false.
She had on pink Minnie Mouse pajamas, and she had me in pink beads. She had braids.
Why you send your kid outside with some pajamas? Lord, shut up.
Investigators
Girl,
say
I was just about to say the same thing. She outside playing while you're cooking dinner in pajamas?
In pajamas? Not the backyard. You have her in the front yard playing. Girl, all of that was a lie, though, they say.
Before her mother ever called 911. The warrants say both parents confessed and showed Javia was injured through physical abuse.
Seeing that pretty little girl's face, she didn't deserve that.
Tonight, the 911 call, the warrants, and the Aiken County community grieving the little girl they all prayed
What a beautiful baby. Oh my gosh, she is so pretty. Beautiful little girl.
for.
As a parent and as somebody who has served in this community as a first responder, it is absolutely heartbreaking.
Well, News 12 at 11 o'clock starts right now. Good evening. I'm Will Rio. What you just heard was a 911 call from Javia's mother, 22-year-old Michelle Herring. She told dispatchers 4-year-old Javia disappeared from their home on Hillsborough Street Tuesday night, but investigators say that was not true. Herring and Javia's father, 23-year-old Jamarie Harris, are charged with homicide by child abuse, and Herring is also charged with filing a false police report. And new tonight, arrest warrants say Herring caused severe head injuries to Javia through physical abuse and then disposed of her body at another location, which we'll get to very shortly. The documents also allege Harris knew about the injuries but did not seek medical attention. Now, investigators say this all happened between May 1st and June 15th of this year, about a month after Herring filed a false police report claiming Javia went missing. Let's take another listen to that 911 call.
Just to confirm, where was she in the house when you saw her last?
No, she wasn't in the house, ma'am. She been playing outside today. And she asked me, can she play for a little bit more before it got dark? And I said yes. And I literally, her bath water is in the tub, ran, and dinner is cooking. And
Yo raggedy mouth ass was beating this baby. Then you got the fucking audacity to call 9. There's a special place in hell for her. Special place in hell for her.
I came out here to get her, and I can't even find her.
I don't even want to listen to this 911 call.
Okay, is there a certain place she likes to play outside?
Usually in the chicken coop, and that's usually where I find her every day. And I just
a chicken coop.
Looked in here, she's not in here.
Okay. Is there any bodies of water nearby?
I don't know, ma'am. Me and my husband just now present in this house. I don't know about this area much, but it's not a good area. I'll tell you that.
Now, here's where law enforcement are searching for Javea's body now after Herring admitted to disposing of it at another location. We're showing.
Lord, she done admitted to the crime. So we know for a fact she did it. So this whole call we just listened to was all fake and put it on for the gram. My God.
You a Google Earth view of the Debutary Creek access area, which leads into Rocky Creek Lake on the Catawba River. It's in a rural part of South Carolina near the Fairfield and Chester County lines, nearly 2 hours away. Your Meredith Anderson was out there all day today. She joins us now with the latest on the search for Javea's body.
The road to closure in the Javea Harris case extends far beyond Augusta. It looks as though that road leads right here to rural South Carolina. I'm standing here in Fairfield County, just a stone's throw from Chester County, South Carolina. This is the Debutary Creek access road. It leads to a body of water that leads to bigger bodies of water. And this is where the search is really concentrated for the body of that 4-year-old girl. So very sad, because unlike the previous times we've been reporting last week when we were telling you about the search efforts, there was search.
I want to back up a little bit. So the mama said the kid was playing in a chicken coop. Mind you, when my parents moved to the country and drugged me with them, my dad had chickens. I didn't even like going to the chicken coop. You know why? Snakes play in chicken coops. Snakes come to the chicken coop because they are looking for eggs. You don't let kids play in a chicken coop. Why did she think that was even believable? But this lady is a bona fide liar.
Search for hope that she would be found alive. Instead, this is a much different type of search. It is the search for her body. It is the search for her remains. All day long, there have been law enforcement officers coming and going, one of them coming now. No one gets through this area unless they are law enforcement officers, unless they are connected to the investigation. It was that way Saturday. It was that way today. We have been around to different areas trying to get access to the water, not particularly where they're searching, but just to get an idea, a feel of this area, a feel of this terrain. We're not from here. We came up here to give you information and to monitor the situation in hopes of bringing you and her family closure and bringing her family some answers. There was access to some of the other waterways in this area, but we did not see anybody searching there. We also did not see any boats in the water. So really what that tells us is that this is a very concentrated search. And as we found out today, when the warrants were released, the parents have made confessions to law enforcement. So that does lead us to believe that this very intense search effort is here, and they're here for a reason. Otherwise, they wouldn't have just randomly picked an area. Not to mention, Javea's family members live right down the road. I spoke with them on Saturday. We didn't see any of them coming here today, but I spoke with them Saturday when they just got the news that the little girl was gone, many of them finding out through social media. And they came here with tears in their eyes, heartbroken, trying to get answers. And that's what we're trying to do too. We've been monitoring the situation all day long, trying to get updates for you. And as soon as we have any additional ones, we'll pass those along. But that's the latest here, 2 hours away from Augusta, 2 hours away from.
Shout out to WRDW26 for this article. Oh my goodness. I don't have no words. Butterfly, do you have anything you want to say? Is Butterfly still on?
I'm here, girl. I'm just.
I don't have no words. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't. The fact that they dissolved her body.
I don't have no words for that.
What? Oh man, I just don't even know where to begin, LadyRo.
Me either.
Too young to be a mother, and obviously couldn't handle it. And I just wonder if the family seen the signs. Oh God.
The issue is you abused the baby. You didn't just.
Right.
You abused her.
Right.
Brown Girls Rocks, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Brown Girls Rocks lives in the area and said that there was a vigil yesterday for her. I would have been able to, I wouldn't been able to make it through that. Just leave me in the cell with the mama. That's it. She wouldn't make it out, I promise you. I was praying hard that they would find this baby alive. Child, I'm with you, Lady Ro. Very special place in hell for both of them. May God bless her precious little soul. Yes, God.
Oh no! Did you say she's pregnant, Brown Girls Rock?
What?
Oh, I don't think she's gonna make. First of all, I don't even think she's gonna survive up in that prison.
Yeah, she won't last long. Wait a minute. You said she's pregnant. Oh my God. May she never sterilize her immediately. Sterilize her. This is where I believe that sterilization should be legal. When you have people that either harm children in any kind of way, whether it's SA or whatever, sterilize that sucker. Cut their nuts off. Take her whole uterus out. Fallopian tube, uterus, everything she got. In fact, sew up her vagina. She don't need it. Hell. Fuck her. One day you see a child within the next day, the baby's just disappeared. Why would a person not know you are at fault? This is what I want to know. Where was the family? My God, today. My God. Y'all, I told you this was going to be a heavy one. I told y'all that this was going to be a heavy one. I told y'all that. Pray for the extended family of the Harris baby. Pray to God, rest her soul, and that he urged her right on into heaven, because I believe all babies go to heaven. What could she have done so wrong at 2 years old?
Absolutely.
To make me kill her. My little grandbaby, I went over last night and sat with him for 3 hours. We sat on the couch. Well, it wasn't quite 3 hours, 2.5 hours. I went to go pick up the 12-year-old. I went to go see the 1-year-old who's about to be 2 next month. And he sat on the sofa and he rocked his legs and he picked up things and he kept, look at this, basketball. And I can't imagine someone hurting my grandson. You hurt that little 23-month-old boy. It's gonna be some sad singing and some flower bringing. Trust me. Because I'm coming for you. And they include my daughter if she hurt him. My daughter don't even believe in spanking him. Now I pulls out the paddle on that little toot pop. When my niece say toot toot, I pull out the toot toot on him. And I don't even have to hit him with it. I just show it to him. He gets where I say that. But I can't imagine abusing a child. I cannot imagine it. Cannot imagine it. Just snatch her soul. Her insides ain't good enough. Ain't good enough. I mean, cut it all out. When I say I literally believe that people who harm children should be sterilized. You should be, especially if they're your own child, you should be allowed to have other children. And if you harm your children by sexual assault, all your nuts should be cut off. Sorry.
Cut off. You see this?
What?
Black Butterfly said the only reason why they reported her missing is because the mother was in active labor.
I said that the mother was upset that the baby wet the bed. It is said that, oh, Lord Jesus. Kids pee. They pee in the bed. Child, some adults pee in the bed. What are you talking about? At 2 years old, he is not even close to being trained. In 23 months, he'll go to the potty pot. We told him last night, go to the potty pot. Diaper. They're not even close to being trained at 2. Yesterday has been a heavy line at LadyRo. I'm here listening and my heart aches with all that is happening to our children. I'm sorry, y'all. You said what? That is crazy. It's wild. It's wild. Oh, Lord Jesus. It's a special place in hell for the mama. Special place for the mama and the daddy.
Yeah.
Cut his thing off and take all her and then sew her up. Have the surgeon, just keep her little slit for her to pee. She don't need nothing else. Zip it up, sew it up. She don't need it no more. She don't need it no more. Well, she's going to be peeing on herself trying to save her body from those prison inmates now. I would hope so. I would hope so. Okay, I got one last thing to show, and we're going to get off. This one's not as bad as the other one, so let's go. I want y'all to pay attention to this. Before we go, let me listen to this. Brown Girls Rock says the parents were afraid that the family will be asking where the little girl is, so they decided to dispose of her body. My God. I'm telling you, when I say this one, because I've seen the story, I didn't read it, because things that involve kids really affect me. Really affects me. And I don't want to get emotional, so I'm gonna move on. They took out a PTO on his mother, which caused her to have to stay away. They moved and changed their numbers and shut down all their social media platforms. If you know the anatomy, children's bladders take a while to fully develop. Physicians will tell you bedwetting is not uncommon. It's not, blessed by God. It's not. Again, I know some people.
I want to share my personal experience.
Go ahead, Butterfly.
But I don't want to put my baby business on blast. But I just tell you this: it took a lot of patience, and it took some working through. But you definitely can get through it.
You can.
And 2 years old is definitely too early to be expecting them to. And yeah, no.
I'm gonna tell you something, and it's not putting nobody business out here either. That 12-year-old in the room over here, I called CPS on his mom when he was 22 months, 23 months. She was dating a guy, and my son were broke up by the time my grandson had turned about 22 months. And she was dating this guy, and she had left him with her children. She had 3 boys. And my grandson had wet his clothes, and he whipped him. He whipped him so bad until when my son picked him up, he had whips up his back. My son called me crying. Hey, Mama, look at my baby. I said, Mama, I'm just going to hurt somebody. I said, don't do that. Because I didn't want my son in jail. I didn't want to deal with that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I said, take him to the hospital, and we'll call CPS. My son took him to the hospital. I called CPS, and I ended up with my grandson for 4 or 5 months, staying with us, taking care of him every day. And he told me, Granny, just don't whip me. I don't like whippings. And my grandson is 12, and he pretty much comes over here every chance he gets. And I don't think I've ever whipped him. I think I've probably fussed at him. I've corrected him. I've taken items from him, such as his cell phone, his game, but I've never whipped him. And this kid, the other day, he was here before I started vacation, and I washed some clothes. And when I got in the car, he said, I'm going to put the clothes in the dryer, and I'm going to fold. They were towels. I'll fold them up before you get home. When I came home from work, my towels had been folded and he had put them in the linen closet. Good kid. Didn't deserve to be beat. He's really high yellow. He's the color of the inside of my hand. So all of the webs showed from it wasn't just his butt, they were up his back to his neck. So much and so into the young man who did it ended up getting a charge. And yes, I didn't feel I owed her about it. The baby mama was mad at me for about 6 years. He's 12. For about 6 years, she was mad at me. But she did my braids, all right? She does hair.
She got over it.
She got over it. And I sat down with her, and she was like, but all my kids were taken away from me because of that. I had to deal with going to visit. My kids were at my sister's, and then you had the baby. She's had 2 more since then. So she didn't learn her lesson then. Still had men to run in and out of her house. and I wouldn't say this in front of him, so let me whisper. But the sad part is that who do you trust with your children? I know you have to work, but you can't trust anybody with your kids. Hence the reason why she travels. Like on the weekends, she's somewhere right now doing hair. She travels. She works with this hair braiding company. So she travels promoting hair on the weekends. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, she's flying all around this country. She's probably in Chicago today. I'm not sure. But you know what? I told her, I can't tell you what to do with your other kids, but this one right here, when you travel, call me. If his daddy can't get him, I'll come get him. Most of the time, my son has them. My son actually called me last night and said, I got to go out of town in the morning. Can you come get my son, mama? And my son just took on a job where he's going to be driving trucks and going out of town, going out of the city every day and coming back. But call me. I pick him up. He don't never have to be by himself. This is a house he will always be welcomed in. In fact, when I took him back home before I went to New Orleans, my husband called me when I was getting on the plane. Hey, where the grandson? Once I took him to his daddy. I dropped him off. And he was like, oh, I was just wondering. He said, I went in the room and I just see him in there. Took him home. He said, blessed by God, anyone that has been a child should know that. They didn't deserve kids, period. I got 9 grandkids. The oldest is 6. The oldest 6 I have helped with potty training. I've helped with all 3 of mine when it comes to potty training. Even with this last one, this 23 months child, me and him in that toilet, we don't get along. In fact, last time he was over here, he taking the pull up and the diaper off and telling me he going to the potty. And he just go and sit on the potty. But he's hilarious. So if you know him, he's a mess. My fussings are enough if you ask my grandkids, mine too, because they don't want to disappoint me. Then that last one, he may be a little different. But my oldest, and she's 13, and this boy here is 12. He don't want to disappoint me. I have watched him cry, and I said, why are you crying? He said, because I didn't get that right for you, Granny. I want to get that right for you. And I don't ever want you to feel like you need to please me. I'm not the one. You please God. And if it's something that you do that I'm disappointed in, just know I'm disappointed, but you don't have to please me. You said, oh, heck no. She'll be okay. She definitely was. Yes, my fussing gets it done. Mine too, exactly. Brown girls work. My friend's grandson is 13, still wet the bed. I advise her to tell him, mom, to seek out medical treatment or therapy for him because something is wrong. At 13, he should not be wetting the bed. He should not, but they have things really that you could put on the bed that have like bedwetting alarms. You can actually pick those up at local stores, medical supply stores. You can order them off Amazon. When they wet, an alarm will go off that'll wake them up, and try to get them on a bladder training schedule. That's really what you have to do, even with training a child.
You have to do it manually. That's why I said it took a lot of patience and watching what I gave, what hour I gave, and waking my behind up every day at midnight.
The parents
until my baby got it together. Yeah.
You said, absolutely, you're live for me. Absolutely, you're a woman after my own heart. That's me. Love you. Bye. Black Butterfly. I had a cousin in his late 20s that had to have surgery to correct bedwetting because it was uncontrollable. I agree. But there are things that modern technology teaches us, that bladder training, which is sometimes putting a clock on the wall and every few hours going to the restroom. That way you train your bladder. Even if you don't have to go, trying to go, you train your bladder to work that particular way. So at certain times of the day, you'll notice, you ever heard somebody goes, I poop every day at certain time? It's because your body's trained that way. You said, thank you for me. Got me literally laughing out loud. I feel you. Y'all, I want to play this last thing, and then we're going to move on out of here and go on about our Saturday. This one, I want to set the tone for you. This lady said after Nolan Wells incident, she was asked to reshare this video where she came up on a group of white kids with a young black boy, and they were fussing at him. They actually left him on one side of the river. That all came over together, and they asked him to swim back across, and he couldn't swim. So I want you to listen to this.
Kayak, you gotta learn how to swim.
Let's fuck it.
Yeah. I think I was like,
tell him to hold on to that.
Everybody, you can swim down wherever you fucking retard. I think I'll just stay here. Bro, how am I gonna get you back home?
They're taunting the black boy. If you can see, he's right over here. And they're on this side. They showed him the other kids just a few minutes ago. But he's way over here. He has a life jacket on.
You don't think Mama Marquise is gonna be worried? Hey, your mom's name. My dad's your mom is always worried about you. My dad's in prison. I think that's why. Your dad.
Just taunted him. He said, my dad's in prison. You don't think your mommy and your daddy going to be worried about you? Come across the river. Swim across.
What the hell am I looking at you? Bro, just go get a kayak. I'll just fucking life jacket on, Marquise. I'll just wait. Oh, you have a life jacket. No, I'm black. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna save me. Oh, yes, it does. Bro, I'll just find a way. Hey. Yeah, they think I'm about to.
You hear him making monkey sounds at him? Y'all hear that?
Bro, you have a life jacket. I'm gonna die. I'm standing right now.
Hold on.
Talk to this like, hold on.
Put your handle right here if you want.
Yeah, I might drown.
You won't drown.
You won't drown. Try to get over there. You're not gonna drown. I promise you won't drown.
There you go.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Hey.
What's your name?
Oh, my name is Marquise. But everybody calls me LaVar because I go to like Danella.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was okay getting over here. They think I'm about to swim back. I can't even swim.
Doing a good job right now.
Talk around holding this. And it's my first time here.
It's your
First time? Well, welcome.
Yeah.
How'd you get over here?
Yeah, what
they made me
happened?
take that way over there, and they had 2 life jackets on.
I'm glad we ran into you.
Oh, you fucking pussy. I'm never coming back with y'all. We told you if you're coming, we had a life jacket. Life jacket. Same thing for a big kid, this for a little kid.
That's scary though if you're not used to walking.
Yeah. I just swim my pool in my backyard.
The way these 2 adults are talking to him, really saying, you know, it's scary. Even with a life jacket, if you're not used to swimming. Black folks, teach y'all kids to swim. Teach your children to swim, please.
Yeah. Spring water's different.
It's a lot different. You know,
We're almost there. I know, it's really strong. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm never coming back with y'all.
You see this mother, she's just looking at him like, oh my God. She really is taking in, getting a really good look at them, and watch what she says next.
No, what to say?
fuck his friends are fucking assholes. I would never do that to him. You don't do that, like.
I would never do that to anybody. Water.
She said in her caption, it says, Marquise made it home safely, and his mother at Tip and I have been in contact. So she has been speaking to the family. But what if they hadn't have came through? Teach your kids how to swim. And even when you teach them how to swim, teach them who they should go to the lake with. My son went to a college in Oklahoma, and I would say he stuck out like a sore thumb. He played football there. And as a Black kid, the one thing I told him, I want you to make it home safely. Watch your friends. Watch who you go hang out with, because I want you to come home to me. My brother brought all his kids to me to help with potty training. Oh my goodness, Black Butterfly, that's a lot of work. When I saw this, I was ready to box. That is so wrong. He should never hang out with them ever again. Never, ever, ever, ever.
He made that clear that he wouldn't be coming back with them. And I guess maybe, I don't know, LadyRo, but I've never realized how common it is for this thing with Black people don't know how to swim. I know how to swim. I know how to swim by the time I was 12. My babies, my oldest knew how to swim. He was in the deep end by the time he was 9. And my youngest son followed right behind him by the time he was 8. They were swimming. I never realized so many Black people don't know how to swim. And like I said, I guess it's because I know how to, you know what I'm saying? I grew up, I got swim, my kids had swimming lessons. I I don't know. I'm just flabbergasted about the amount of people that don't know how to swim. But I guess it's not as common as I thought it was. Like I said, because all me and mine know how to swim. Shit.
Well, it's common. I'm sorry, because it's not funny.
No, I see it. No, I
It's
see it, Lady
very
Ro. Every
common.
time, and I mean every summer, there's a story of an unfortunate drowning.
Live for me
And it's
said, I
a
don't know
lot
how
of
to
Black
swim.
people.
She said, I don't know how to swim, but she said, I don't know how to swim. All my kids taught themselves. See, I'm gonna tell you, I took swimming lessons. And I'm gonna get to bank, but just get out here and just go swimming. That ain't what I do. But I took swimming lessons. But my grandson, the 12-year-old in there, y'all, I gotta tell you the story. I took him with me to the gym. Our gym has a pool, a jacuzzi. So he and I went to the pool, and I took them to the kiddie side. Him and my 13-year-old. She's scared of water, child. She ain't gonna get out there and swim. I got all the life jackets on her, the flotation arm devices, but she did not want to get out the kiddie pool. So my grandson walks away from me and goes and jumps in I want to say it was a 9-foot, either 6 or 9 foot. And luckily the lifeguard saw him. I was running over there, but the lifeguard saw him. He just reached down, and my grandson's bobbing and coming up, and he pulls me. He goes, "Why did you do that?" And the guy goes, "You were drowned." And he goes, "I wasn't," but he was definitely gasping for air. So, one thing I made it a point of, you got to take swimming lessons. Is what I told him. You got to take swimming lessons. He was like, "Do I?" "Yes, because you scared Granny. You got to take swimming lessons." So, honey, I took him right around the corner too. We have a place here that offers swimming lessons, Jack, because you got to have swimming lessons. You ain't gonna go nowhere with me. Now, the 13-year-old, even with swimming lessons, she's me. Took swimming lessons, really didn't like it. I get sure, but I probably can't help save nobody else. You said some people have anxiety attack. It's not easy for some people. And I'm one of those. I went to the lagoon in Jamaica and tried to swim and was doing great. And all of a sudden I went, I don't know why. It was like the boat was getting too far from me, and I went into a full-fledged panic. I stayed above water. The guy came and took me back to the boat. I don't know where the anxiety attack came from, but it came. Yes, we were taught to swim early. My grandparents had pool, and swimming was awesome. Exactly. Swimming is a great way to lose weight as well. Brown Girls Rocks, that's me.
You just remind me.
We'll take a cruise in a minute.
Yeah, you just remind me, Lady Ro, when I do become a grandmother, that I'm dang sure gonna make sure my grandbabies know how to swim. I know their fathers will, because like I said, they was swimming in deep ends by the time before they even hit double digits. But yeah.
Yeah, please do. Please make sure. And if you know someone that doesn't know how to swim, I think that the lessons should be offered a lot more than what they are. I think they should. Even my youngest, he's already started taking swimming lessons. He actually started taking swimming lessons, I want to say at 9 months, 10 months. He took his first swimming lesson. He still takes swimming. He loves water. Child, you get in the tub with him and it's splash, splash, splash. And then he trying to swim. Baby, if you don't sit up in this water, let me give you a bath. We got somewhere to go. Both my kids took swimming lessons. I think it's great. Yeah, I made a commercial yesterday for MDS. If y'all did y'all get a chance to watch it yesterday? I'm gonna play it one more time for y'all. Then we gonna get it.
I missed it, girl. Oh yeah, because I had to go. I'm so mad I missed that live, but you took it down.
No. I privated it just for a second while I edited something out of it. It's back up today.
Okay.
It takes a while for it to. I don't know why it takes so long for it to
load.
upload.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
it does.
why.
Yep, it does.
All right, here we go.
Hated every time someone mentions Melody? Do you spend hours in comment sections explaining why you don't care while caring an awful lot? Have your friends and family suggested you take a break from reality TV? You may be experiencing Melody Derangement Syndrome, or MDS. Now there's a place to help ease the symptoms. Introducing LadyRo's Queendom. LadyRo's Queendom may help reduce excessive comment scrolling, uncontrollable eye rolling, chronic receipt denial, keyboard overexertion, sudden urges to argue with strangers online. With regular viewing, many participants reported enjoying balanced discussions, plenty of laughs, and a healthy appreciation for hearing both sides. LadyRo's Queendom is a parody and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any medical condition. Side effects may include laughing unexpectedly, changing your opinion after seeing the receipts, binge watching live streams, subscribing, turning on notifications, and telling your friends, girl, you need to watch this. If symptoms of arguing in comment sections persist for more than 4 hours, it may be time to log off, touch some grass, and join LadyRo live instead. Ask your nearest YouTube app if LadyRo's Queendom is right for you. LadyRo's Queendom, where we nurture, cultivate, and awaken your inner queen, one receipt at a time.
I love it. I love it. I love it. LadyRo, I love it, girl. What thing? Baby, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's a miss. That's a miss. Can y'all hear me?
I'm trying to tell you, I love it. Oh my God. Like, Billy, we need that. We need that on deck, baby. That need to be your disclaimer. Wherever we get anything Love and Marriage Huntsville, girl. I love it. I love it.
Girl, they tried to take me out this week. Anyway, if you're new here, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of fun over here. I love to laugh. I'm going to sometimes touch on your favorites. You may not like it, but you know what? There are people that talk about my faves too, and I just have to chalk it up and listen because I love to hear different commentary, different views on different subjects. So we may talk about your fave over here. Don't take it personal. We're just out here throwing out content in the air. And the thing is, I'm not throwing out anything that I made up. That's the good thing. I'm just giving you something that is a fact that I've read or I've seen. That's it. That's
right.
It. You said, "May
yes. Never find me." That.
Butterfly, you have any closing comments? Because we're just to get on up off here.
This was another great show. Appreciate having me. And I love my Saturday morning scoops. I just want to say to the Queendom, thank you guys for joining us. Please make sure you tell a friend to get down here to the Queendom, okay? You will love the content. It is excellent content. As you see, we got a beautiful, very intelligent, integral host, okay? All right now, y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Please like the video. And if you can, if you didn't use up all your hypes, make sure you hype up the live.
Please hype up the live.
Thank you, LadyRo.
Thank you. Thank you. And touch that notification bell so you'll know next time that I am live. Yes, this was heavy, but it was good and needed. Thanks, LadyRo and Butterfly. Thank you all in unity for coming. Thank you, everybody. Terry, Living for Me, Queen Script, Brown Girls Rocks, all the people in the bushes. Thank you, guys. Stay vaccinated with receipts and facts. Oh, we will. I'm going to keep bringing you the facts, whether you like it or not. I am. I'm bringing the facts on Martell, Mel, Tisha, Portia, anybody else, Angela, because you know I watch all the real reality TV shows, and if it's out here, we're gonna talk about it. All right, and I don't want you to get in your feelings about it. It's not your business. It ain't mine either. So have an amazing day, Butterfly, and the rest of you guys. If no one told you today they love you, I love you. And in the words of Butterfly, keep your head on a swivel, keep your foot on the square, and your head on a swivel, and remember to smile. Because a smile can brighten up someone else's day. All right? It's a universal language, as Butterfly say.
Yes. Yeah, universal.
Their life, our entertainment, exactly. All right, you guys. I'll see you in the next live. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining the Queendom. Until next time, keep nurturing, keep cultivating, and keep awakening the queen within. God bless you. We'll see you next time.